Okay, first thing we need to do is work out positive and negative. It's got it marked on the board. Once you've worked out which one's the positive, we need to jumper all the way around the relay board. What this does is supplies positive power to everyone, and when we throw a switch, this one here, on all of them, will turn your light on. Okay, so first of all, run your wire like this. We have it going to normally open. Middle one is common. The next one's normally closed. Do not connect to the normally closed. That means your light will be going on all the time until you turn the remote on. Okay, next thing we've got to do is work out our power supply. Here I have an AC to DC adapter. The input voltage is 240 volt, but in your country it might be 110 or whatever. And it will drop it down to 12 volt DC. Now, that's what we need. Now that can be anything from 1500 milliamps up to 2500 milliamps or even bigger, depending how many lights you're going to use. First thing we do is we need to identify which is positive and negative. So what we do is cut this plug off, and we look at the wire here, and on the wire you'll actually see there's writing on it, and that writing is on the positive side. So the positive side will actually plug in to where you've got your normally open jumpers going all the way around. Your negative wire, what we need to do with the negative wire is also add another wire. So we'll put that one down there like that. We'll wrap them two together. The negative will then go into there and be screwed down. So now we've got power supplied. Now to this, when you flick your relay, you'll see a light will come on, but it's still not going to work yet. We need to run the common to every light. So we have a little light here. We pull it back. That there will go into there, into the middle one's marked common. The other side will hook up to the negative, which I'll show you in a minute. Okay, now as we did before, we had the negative wire coming out. Now what I've done is I've added a little electrical connector. You get these from any electrical retailer and some hardware stores. And what I've done is I've put one wire from our light onto that. The next wire off the light goes into common, as we mentioned before. So now what happens when we press the remote control, the power flicks over to the center one, powers the light. So when we do the next one, next light, we do exactly the same thing. We'll undo this, wrap those two wires together, and then the other wire will go into number 2, which is the common one there, and so on and so on and so on. And that's how you wire this light system. I'll show you how to do another one. Okay, We've plugged the power supply down to 12 volts in. As you can see, the unit is powered up. In theory, we have power running all the way around, but nothing going here until we hit the number one switch. So we hit number one switch, light comes on. Hit number one switch again, one goes off, and you can keep doing that all the way around. Thanks very much. Okay, just to go back over again, we've made sure we know which one is positive and negative. From the positive, we've jumpered it all the way around, connected to the normally open. We hook up light on channel 1, we go into common, and on the other side, the negative side, goes into this joiner here that goes back to the negative side over here. And the same with number 2 light, etc, etc. 1, 2. Now if you've got an 18 channel one, it's going to be a little bit different because they have coming out here a socket. What you need to do there is cut this off your 12 volt DC power supply, put one of these on, re-hook up so that your positive is connected to the positive, negative to negative. Then run a wire also into there that will come over and replace this wire here. Oops, just knocked the wire off to here, and jumper it around that way. And that's how you get your positive to supply the power. And the same thing again with the negative. You'll run a negative wire off here to another plug and put all your negatives from all your appliances onto that. That's it. There's a lot easier ways to doing this if you can solder, and if you got the soldering iron. What you would do is you would solder a wire onto your positive from there, over onto common there, over onto common there, over onto common there, and over onto common there, and then across to common there, common, common, common. Then all you got to do is then just have a wire coming out here for all your negatives. That makes it a lot quicker, but if you can't solder, do not try this. The other thing is by doing it on the common, it means that you would hook up your positives to the normally open on the board. But if you're going to do it this way, please let me know and I'll help. Thank you.